Today, we're going to be reading Finnegans Wake, at least a portion of it, by James Joyce, published in 1939 to my knowledge. It is noted for being one of the most hardest novels to read, since it makes absolutely no sense, as you'll see. And I guess the main thing people know about this book is that it's Joyce's last. I guess it killed him to write such fucking nonsense. And the last sentence ends on the middle of the sentence, and the first sentence is the continuation of that same sentence, meaning that the book is a constant loop. So, if that doesn't scare you, then that doesn't really matter. Okay, so we're going to be reading the first few pages. I know people expected me to do voices like in an Irish accent, but no, I'm not going to embarrass myself beyond trying to say all this. So, the first episode of Talierch reads classic literature is Finnegans Wake by James Joyce. River Run, past Eve and Adams, from swerve of shore to bend of bay, brings us by a commodious ficus of recirculation back to Health Castle and Environs. Environs, I don't know. Sir Tristram, Voiler de Amor, for over the shore sea had Passancore re-arrived from North America, on this side of scraggy isthmus of Europe Minor, to wielder fight. His pencil at war, nor had Top Sawyer's rocks by the stream Ankeny exaggerated themselves to Lawrence County gorgios while they went doubling their mumper all the time. Nor a voice from a fire bellows to Mish to Toft, daughter of Beatrix, not yet. Who then soon after had a kid-scad buttoned a bland old Isaac, not yet. The all's fair in Vanessay, where Soyce Southers Roth with Twone, Nathan and Joe. Rada Peck Posmald had Jem Shannon brewed a Arklet, a Rory end to the Regenbrow, was to be seen ringsome on the aquaface. The fall. Ba dalgar hard dark takaminer moonanar arn kam kan brun toner ran ton tundan churchaffer huna a winska kon utu hu horden do their nuck. Of once a Wall Street old par is retailed early in bed and later on life down through all Christian ministry. The great fall of the awful entailed at such short notice the piffish of Finnegan. Oh, there he is, our Finnegan. Of Finnegan. You're solid, man. Very solid. Yeah, very not liquid. That the Humpty Hill head of himself promptly sends an unquerying one well to the west in the wet quest, and the trumpty toes. And their upturned pike point in place is the knockout of the park where oranges have been laid to rust upon the greens since Devonland first loved Livy. My phone's ringing. No. Alright, so that's the first page. We'll continue now. What clashes here of wills gen wants, Austri gods, gag and fishy gods, where the battle-weary partisans are still out of the mathmaster Malcolmus McGrains, and the verdants kept pelting the cannibalistics of the white boits of Hoodie Head. Assajates and boomerang storms, sods brid the me fear, Singalorian save, arms appeal with larms appalling, killy, atoll, what chance cuddlies, what cashels aired and ventilated, what binman tulloves, induced by what together still solves, what true feelings for their hair, with what strawing voice of false Jacob. Oh, hear how the health sprawled met the dust, the father of fornicationists, but, oh my shining stars and body, how hath fan spanned most high heaven and sky sign of soft advertisement. But is to it, airware sewers, the oaks of Ald now they lie in peat, yet elms leap where asks lay. Oh, perfect. Foul, if you but will, rise you must, and none so soon either shall the farce for the nuns come to set down secular Fanish. By Mr. Finnegan of the stuttering hand, Freeman's motor lived in the broadest way imaginable, in his rush lived too far back from Masujas before Joshuan. Judges had given us numbers, or Helviticus committed Deuteronomy. One yesterday he sternly struck his teeth in a tub for to wash the future of his face, but ere he swiftly stuck it out again. But the might of Moses, very water was evaporated, and all the Gwenesses had met their exodus, so that ought to show you how a Penska judgy chap he was. I agree. And during mighty odd years this man of Hod cement edifices, toppers, door piled, building, super building, upon the banks, for living by the song's show. He addle little Fife, Annie, August the little Crythern, with her higher and Hans tuck up your part in her. Allswhile Balbalus, with her head with a goodly travel in grass, or embroiled overalls, which he habitually fancied, like Haran Shilurk Eckeberth, he was casualed by multiplicables, the altitude, the multitude, until he seesaw by neat light of the liquor where 'twas born, his roundhead staple of other days to rise an undressed masonry, upstanded, joy granted, a well worth of skyscape of most Eiffel Hoyt and Towerly, and originating from next to nothing and celescating the himmels and all. Higher architectural typophysical, with a burning Bosch above of its bubble top, and with Lawrence O'Tooler's clittering up, tumbles and a bucket's clattering down. This is just beautiful, elegant prose. This is already better than Ulysses. Like, opening lines like stately plump Buck Mulligan came from the stairhead bearing a bowl of lather to which a mirror and a razor lay crossed does not even compare. The river went past even Adams. Like, oh my god. And then we try to compare this to our contemporaries like David Foster Wallace. I'm seated in an office surrounded by heads and bodies. Like, that's nothing compared to the beauty that is Finnegans Wake by James Joyce. And then in the 1950s, often noted as one of the greatest times for literature, comes Lolita by Nabokov, which is Lolita, light of my life, fire of my loins. Like, no one even knows what that means, but this, so articulate, and just perfection in the first 2 pages just makes me want to read the other 700 aloud to you, so you too can be as enlightened as James Joyce was, or still is, because he lives on inside these words of his final masterpiece as a novel. Not even, it transcends the terms of a normal novel. It is something else. It is the Bible of literature. This is why we are human. Okay. Of the first was he to bear arms and name, Wasili Buslu of Reisenborg. His crest of heraldry invert was Ancillars, trebulent argent of Hegok, pursuant horrid horned. The scutcheon fest was archer strung, Helio the second, hooches for huntsmanmen, handling his hoe. Ho, 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 Mr. Finn, you're going to be Mr. Finn again. Come a day morm, and oh, you're fine. Sunday's eve, and ah, your vinegar. Ha, 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 Mr. Fun, you're going to be fined again. What the agent like brought about the tragedy to understay was municipal sin business. Our cube house still rocks as ear-witness to the thunder of the Arafadas, but we hear also through successive ages that Chevy Korsh Anfekana muzzle minishilims that would be blackguard ice to Whitestone ever turtled out of heaven. Stay us wherefore in our search for righteousness of sustainer of what time we raise, and when we take up a toothpick, and before we lump down upon our leather bed, and in the night and as fading up of the stars, for nod to the Nabir is better than wink of the Wasdani. Other ways we say, these ways like the Proval scoffing Bidonin, the Jebel of the Gypsian Sea, crop herb the crunch bracken shelled aside. Then we'll know on the feast of Fly Day, she has the gift of seek on sight, and she how casually and sours helpers the dreamy dearie. Heed. May health half be a misfired brick, Luigi, as some say, or it might have been due to a collapse of his back promises. As others looked at it, there extant by now 1,001 stories all told all the same. But so sore did Abe ate ivories, hollered owls, the wall holds horrors of Rolls Right car hacks, Finnegans, kissed veins, tram-tams, frobble-glowers, auto-kinotons, hippo-hobophiles, street fleets, Turnix taxes, mega-fogs, circuses and warsmots and basilicers and arabicods and the hoist and the jolly bull and the peeler and the coat and the Menkleber beach at his bite at his ear and the Maryland Burrow rocks and his 4 old paracords board the moor and his bright-back working stacks at 12 pins a dozen, and the new buses sleigh dying along Safety First Street, and the dairy jelly bees snooping around Tell No Taylor's corner, and the fumes and the hopes of straight up on the vials, and ingenious rom keepers, home sleepers, dome keepers, Durham and Fancy Mund, Moormund, and all the uproar from all the uproos, and roof for many and roosh for Hugh, but under his bridge suits Tony. When did that? It just had a closed parentheses. When did the parentheses start? Oh, up there. The end started. Okay. Wan warning Phil tippling full. His howd feel heavy, his hobbit did shake. There was a wall, of course, an erection. Dim, he stuttered from the ladder. Damn, he was dud. Dumb, masturbaton, when a man marries his lute and all long for the whole world to see. That is my selection of Finnegans Wake for you today. I'm unsure if that was in English or in the language that Sims speak or something else. Perhaps James Joyce was a Chalf Malfmador or whatever Vonnegut wanted them to be called. And he exists on a time of like a vector scale where it happens all at the same time. And every word ever spoken is just supposed to be read at the same time, which is why I don't understand anything, because I can't look at every word in the book and say it at the same time. So I guess this is all above me. Thank you for watching. Good night, good afternoon, good morning, whatever time it is. So long.